Okay, this is our lesson 102. At the moment, you've written one line of code, print, please enter your password, and you saw the results, which, let's just do it, prints out to the screen. This is called output. Okay, so that's the name for what we're doing. It's called output. The next thing we want to do is actually called input. In other words, get something in from the person using the computer. So let's see how we do that. I'm going to write the line of code. You need to write it too. So I'm going to say password equals raw underscore input, and then open and close parentheses, and you'll find these two on the shift and the 9 and shift and 0 on the keyboard. So let's take a look at what we got at the moment. We've got two lines of code. Print, please enter your password, and password equals raw underscore input, open and close brackets. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to save it with a different file name. I'm going to call it 102, and remember .py, otherwise we'll lose all of our colours. Now notice that this time when we saved a new program, it did not go to the Python 2.7 folder with all of those folders. It came to our coding. So as long as we save a file here, it will always go here to find the file. So click save, and if you can remember how to run, so we can either choose run and run module or press F5. Let's choose run module this time. And there we go. Please enter your password. Now, well, the computer is just waiting. Okay, if you look at the lesson, I'm asking you to tell me what the difference between the two screens for the two programs is. And at the moment, the computer is just waiting, whereas before, the program finished and it just gave me the three little arrows. So it's waiting. What's it waiting for? Well, it's waiting for you to type something in. This is input. So if I type something in, like let me in, there we go, that's a nice password, and then press enter, okay, because although I've typed something, it's not going to do anything until I tell it I've finished typing. So by pressing enter, it's telling it I have finished typing. So I press enter, and there we go. The program has just ended. It's not done anything with it, but it's given us our three little arrows back and the flashing line, which is called, if you remember, the prompt. So we've seen sort of three words so far. We've seen output, we've seen input, and we've seen prompt. Okay, so three words that you need to remember. But there we go. We've now got the password. Didn't do anything. Well, actually, it has done something. You're not aware of what it's done. It's actually taken that word, let me in, and the computer has stored it. And every time I type the word password and press enter, it types out let me in. And I can do it as many times as I like, and it will keep typing out what it has stored. It has stored let me in. Notice that let me in is between two single quote marks. Again, it's a string. It's not double quote marks, but it means the same thing. We will cover that later. But that's our program. So let's take a look at what we've done. So raw input is the computer command for wait for somebody to type something at the keyboard. If I didn't have password in front of it, if I just did raw input and run my program, it would still work nicely. Please enter your password. I'm going to type let me in because I know it's waiting for something, and I've got to press enter for it to accept it. There we go, there's the end of my program. I'm now going to type password, and I'm getting an error. Okay. Now, this is a very common way of seeing errors in Python. Lots of red writing and I will show you how to try to understand what these mean later. But at the moment I'm going to tell you there is no such thing as password anymore because we didn't include it in our program. So although we typed something at the keyboard and pressed enter, which is what it was asking for, we didn't store it anywhere. We didn't put it in anything. So we've got to have what we call a variable, and I've got a variable called password. In fact, a variable could be anything. I am a variable. Okay, and the equal sign means assignment. Okay, so whatever we type at the keyboard, because that's what that is waiting for, says put it into the words I am a variable, and I have on purpose not put any spaces in there. Okay, we can't have any spaces in a variable. So if I save my work and click OK, there we go. Please enter your password. Let me in. Press there. If I type password, if I could spell password, if I type password and press enter, what do you think is going to happen? Well, you're right. Password is not defined. That's because instead of using password, I've used I am a variable to hold it. So if I type I am a variable and press enter, there you go, I get my let me in. It's stored it in a variable called I am a variable. We'll deal with variables a little bit later. There you go, you've now got a working program. And very nice indeed. You've got, let's put that back to password so it makes a little bit of sense. So password is whatever we type at the keyboard, that is sent into password. So that's quite good. We'll move on to the next program.